Welcome back, YouTube. This is Baylor Mage, and we have started a new character. A new, very, very tanky character. So, I decided I wanted to do Cast on Crit, Ice Nova. With a Cost Freeze, we got Frostbolt, Hypothermia, not sure about that link yet. Ice Nova, and then Cyclone Crit. Crit damage, Ice Nova, Cast on Crit, Cold Pen. So we're CI, and we just started. We got to maps yesterday. We spent a lot of time farming Glacier just to level, because hell, if you're gonna level now, why not do it farming Glacier when you first hit maps and make some money? So I'm gonna really quickly go over why this character is so goddamn tanky. So we barely started. We've got 7.2k energy shield, which isn't really a lot. But if we look at my tree, I don't really have a lot of energy shield right now. There's the rest of this wheel to fill out. There's this part to come down into. I got 2 more nodes here, another floating node there. I'm basically leaving all of the energy shield until last. So, reasons we're so tanky. One, we're not uber ascended yet, so ignore that. But we've got our normal trickster shenanigans with Ghost Shrouds and Escape Artist giving us a decent, respectable amount of dodge and evasion. So we look at our evasion with flasks up. We are at 32k evasion, giving us a 68% chance to evade. I think it's actually higher than that. That's with flasks up on top of our 14% chance to dodge. However, the more important part is that I have chance to block attack damage with flasks up, 75%, chance to block spells, 66%, and I have one of these shields with recover 5% of energy shield when you block. So now anything that makes it through the evasion, we're most likely going to block, and when we do block, it heals us. Now the blocks are glancing blows, so they do half damage, and the way we're doing that is with a Lethal Pride of Kilova, I think it's called, is how I say that. Kilova, I think so. I don't know. What I will say is I'm after a much better one of these. So Kilova, the name, changes all of the keystones to glancing blows, which is giving me double chance to block. You'll see I've taken the spell block here, and I've taken the spell block here, and I have crafted spell block on my shield as well, because spell block is the one that's harder to cap. So I've taken all of those. I haven't had to take any normal block nodes, just having a shield on and a roomies has been enough to cap that. However, this one I've got right here isn't incredibly useful. I've got totem damage on that node, I've got stun duration on that node, I've got life regen here, physical damage there. The 10% increased effect to fortify would be useful, but I wasn't planning on taking this node anyway. So I would love to get one that's slightly better. The only thing that's good is I have a 5% chance to gain endurance charge. So I am shopping around all of the people I know that are collecting jewels to see if I can find a Kilova that I actually want to buy. I want to keep this 5% chance to gain endurance charge on kill on one of the nodes, either that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I don't care. Like, some node that I can take that will give me that, and then I am after chance to deal double damage or increased effect of fortify or something along those lines to replace this jewel with. But yeah, until then, we'll keep running as is. I've got a cannot be inflicted with corrupting blood jewel and another one of them, and we will just quickly show you what I did to level it. If you're interested in leveling, you're interested in leveling one of these, I never went up here at all, and I never took any of this spell damage. And what I ended up doing was I just went down here, and I got Heart Seeker, and I got Brutal Blade, Fatal Blade, and I came down here, and I got Honed Edge and Twin Terrors and Thick Skin for extra life. And I basically existed down here until level 72 when I got to maps. And I just used these weapons all the way until maps. They carried me so hard. It was really, really, really nice. They're very cheap weapons. They're They've got plus range on them, so they're 16 range. They've got crit multi-implicits. They've got move speed to go with them. They're solid damage. They carried me all the way through until maps. Right, so other than that, I have Hatred, Flesh and Stone, an Enlighten and a Discipline in a reduced mana helmet, and that's how I'm using everything. And I have a Precision down here, which is only level 5, because that's all I can afford. The other interesting part is that Blood and Sand blinds enemies nearby, and the Ephigon Gold Amulet, your hits can't be evaded by blinded enemies, so I don't have to worry about accuracy. The one downfall or struggle with this build right now is my melee attack, my Cyclone, has to crit. And right now, the extent of everything I have on the tree for crit is Trickster's Power Charges, Assassination, and Snowforged. That is absolutely it. So I have been very much struggling with our Cyclone crit, which is... there it is, 31%. So it's quite low. The idea was to craft this chest with a decent energy shield and evasion roll and a crits to attack roll, but I spent about 4x fossil crafting it yesterday morning and got nowhere. And the other idea is to get a Hatred Watcher's Eye, but they are 10x currently for the cheapest one in hardcore, and I have all of 2. So we won't be doing that soon, but in an ideal world, I will eventually get both of those things, and I will drop the Crit Strikes gem out and put another damage gem in. So, on top of the block, on top of everything else, we also do have Energy Shield Leech here, and much later on I will pick up this for more Energy Shield Leech, as well as Ghost Reaver. So we are very much heavy on the leeching, very heavy on the evading, and very, very heavy on the blocking. And now let's go see how it works. So it's still a work in progress. There's a lot of updates to do still. Now, what you will notice is the area isn't massive. So I made this character with the intention of killing bosses with it, not clearing with it. But I wanted to be able to kill bosses, but I wanted to be able to map at least a reasonable speed. And while this isn't your Val Ice Nova Glacier Runner level of clear or your ED Contagion level of clear, it's not bad. It's going pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'll be much happy with it when I'm in higher tier maps, which is where I plan on going later today. You can see when I do hit these rares that they just melt. Like, the single target is great. And that's without having the amount of crit that I need. I am proccing maybe half of the amount of crits that I should be. And I don't have any cooldown recovery or anything like that to make it better. This is just a very standard, I want to say budget, but I did spend 5x failing to craft a chest, so I guess you could just not do that, and then it would be a very budget build. Pretty happy with it so far. Definitely when I make some more money, we'll start... Oh, bye Behemoth. That was Behemoth, by the way. And the biggest downside of this build for me personally is that I haven't been able to work out how to fit in a Herald of Ice for pretty Herald of Ice shattering, and I don't think it's possible to do so without some disgusting stuff and sacrificing a lot of energy shield and all sorts of stuff. So I probably won't be able to fit in a Herald of Ice, which does make me a little bit sad. But if I just stop here for a second. This is a very tanky character. So this was my answer to a jug. The idea is that I want to be able to go in and kill Uber Elder on hardcore, and I don't want to play a jug. So here we are. Here we are with a much tankier character. Now, Hatred on its own is enough for cast when damage taken a level 1 wave of conviction, which has given me a much higher level of cold damage than the other two, which is great, by the way, because Wave of Conviction is automatically putting out exposure to cold. Yeah, that's the build, how it's working so far. Hopefully we'll see some improvements and some better gear over the next few days, and hopefully we won't walk into a reflect map and kill ourselves, which would be unfortunate because I'm really enjoying this character and I think I can push it pretty hard. So yeah, stay tuned for those updates. I am Balamage, and I will see everybody later.